Midnight Horizon by Daniel Jose Older is out today. It's the third young adult novel in the High Republic, and it's great. It is definitely my favorite of the YA books so far, and one of the most emotional reads in the series. This is my spoiler-free review. In the first two waves of the High Republic, the young adult novels have felt somewhat set apart from the rest of the books. In Wave 1, Light of the Jedi and A Test of Courage dealt with the Nile, and Into the Dark dealt with the Dringir. In Wave 2, The Rising Storm and Race to Crash Point Tower took place at the exact same time, on the exact same planet, while Out of the Shadows took place months later. None of that's bad, but the YA books just didn't feel as connected with the rest of their respective waves. Having read all three books in Wave 3, I think it's the most connective wave, and I liked that a lot. Midnight Horizon is a perfect companion piece to The Fallen Star. They take place at the same time, but not on the same planet. The Fallen Star takes place mostly on Starlight Beacon in the Outer Rim, while Midnight Horizon takes place in the core on Corellia, but they still feel so in sync. The events of The Fallen Star ripple out into Midnight Horizon, and Midnight Horizon adds a new level of tension for The Fallen Star. In my review for The Fallen Star, I said I missed the galaxy-hopping side of the adventure because it was so focused on Starlight Beacon. Midnight Horizon and Mission to Disaster retroactively gave me what I was missing. The Wave 3 books wound up feeling very balanced in that way. But this is a review for Midnight Horizon, so let's get back on track. Young adult books are always about growing up. The characters are usually teenagers on the cusp of adulthood, or in this case, Padawans on the cusp of knighthood. Many of the characters in Midnight Horizon are from the High Republic Adventures comic series and the middle grade book Race to Crash Point Tower, which are stories meant for a younger audience. And we get to see them grow up a lot in this book. The earlier half of the story was full of shenanigans and tomfoolery and the wackier side of Star Wars. I think I expected a goofy character like Ram to be automatically aged up to fit the tone of a YA book instead of a middle grade book, if that makes sense. But he's the same goofy kid. Fortunately, I love Ram, but the overall tone kind of surprised me in the first half. But I'm telling you, there is a turning point where everything shifts. The shenanigans are over, and it's time for these kids to grow up. And it's made so much more impactful because we got to have some goofy fun with these characters at the start. Because things get dark. It's kind of like why we spend so much time with the hobbits at the start of the Fellowship of the Ring. We need some fun, peaceful times so we know what's at stake later on. We need some light so it can be contrasted by the darkness to come. Like I said, most of the action takes place on Corellia, which is used to great dramatic and thematic effect. Older naturally pulls in a lot of super fun Corellian stuff I think Star Wars fans will enjoy, like the Grindelids. We get to see a little more of their culture and territory and how they operate, and they have a moment that quite literally made my jaw drop. It's so cool getting some city-based Star Wars action. The planet's association with shipbuilding is, of course, a big deal, and its location in the core is central to one of the story's main themes of community. We are all the Republic. That's been a catchphrase the High Republic era has thrown around over and over as we see the Jedi and the Republic expand into the Outer Rim. They go to these new worlds and assure them that they're just as much part of the Republic as Coruscant. But then we head to the core to see for ourselves, and there is a completely different attitude there. They don't take the Nile seriously. They don't even care about the Nile. That's a problem for the Outer Rim, not the core. So there's a sense of elitism among the core planets. But then we focus in on Corellia, and we see it again. There's a subplot about a union dispute on one of Corellia's moons, and the rich and powerful laugh it off. The thing is, a problem for part of your community is a problem for the entire community. The Nile will eventually make their way to your doorstep if you choose to sit back and just let the Outer Rim handle it. If one part of your community is struggling and you just ignore it, are they really part of your community? Several of the characters are also in search of their place within their own community. Zine struggles to be with the Jedi despite not being a member of their order. She worries what her relationship with Lula will mean as she continues down the Jedi path. Crash, a Corellian character who works as a bodyguard, has to learn to be a better member to her community of bodyguards, and has to learn what it really means to serve her larger community of Corellians. The Nile are able to get a foothold within Corellia, specifically because the people in power haven't properly cared for their community. In the case of the Jedi, there's also a lot said about how and when to let go of members of your community. Dealing with attachment is a constant theme for Jedi characters, but I really loved seeing how it was dealt with in Midnight Horizon, because we know what happens to Starlight Beacon and the Fallen Star. The discussion of how to best serve those people trapped on the station while our characters are across the galaxy is spelled out so well and so emotionally. And like I said, this book is emotional. It got me good and teary-eyed at the end. It was wild to look at my notes from the first half and then compare them to the second half. It goes from a fun little Star Wars romp to, oh my god, no, so fast. Reaching the end gave me the same feeling of exhaustion and exhilaration that The Rising Storm did. Part of that was due to the teases given for what's to come, mostly for Phase 2, but for Phase 3 as well. We've still got some comic issues to go in Phase 1, but all of the books have now been released, and with over a year worth of storytelling in the High Republic, I am just as excited as ever to see it continue. If you're interested in checking out Midnight Horizon, you can pick up the audiobook for free on Audible. Just click on the link in the description or visit www.audibletrial.com/Star Wars Explained. The audiobook is out right now, and the production value on all the Star Wars audiobooks is very high with sound effects and music. It's like listening to a movie. Signing up for an Audible trial will get you a credit for one free book, and you can use it on Midnight Horizon, or the other High Republic books, or just about any Star Wars book you can think of. Or get any book you want. The point is, you get a free book, and you'll be supporting the channel when you do. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and consider checking out our Patreon page, where we'll be holding a book club discussion of Midnight Horizon in a couple weeks. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.